Animals surprise us all the time, but which ones are quietly brilliant? Today, we're counting down 10 species with mind-bending skills backed by real research. From naming each other to doing math, making tools, planning detours, and even playing video games. But before we begin, I want to thank my amazing viewers and subscribers for your support through your likes, shares, and comments. Your engagement helps make these animal stories even more meaningful. If you're new here, be sure to hit that subscribe button and join our growing community of animal lovers and curious minds. Let's jump in, starting with number 10 and building to a jaw-dropper at number 1. 10. Raccoons, urban puzzle masters. Yes, the trash panda is more than a midnight snack bandit. Raccoons excel at tactile problems, solving their 5 dexterous digits map an enormous portion of their brain's sensory cortex. Classic puzzle box experiments going all the way back to early comparative psychology found raccoons could open complex latches and remember the solutions months later. In modern urban studies, Toronto's rocket raccoon learned to defeat Nuban designs frighteningly fast, an arms race between engineers and fluffy locksmiths. Imagine being a bin designer who thinks you built the Fort Knox of garbage, and then a raccoon watches you once and casually flips the secret catch. That mix of observational learning and haptic intelligence is why raccoons crack problems that stump many pets. Takeaway: raccoons remind us that intelligence isn't just language or tools. It's also hands-on reasoning tuned for the environment. 9. Honeybees. Tiny brains, big math. With fewer than 1 million neurons, honeybees still do something wild. Learn rules and apply them. In controlled Y-maze experiments, researchers train bees to associate blue with addition +1 and yellow with subtraction -1. Bees then saw a number of shapes at the entrance and had to fly toward a plus or minus correct answer at the exit. The result? Bees successfully added or subtracted 1, generalizing to new stimuli they hadn't seen before. That symbol guided arithmetic in an insect brain. Bonus mind blow. Other work suggests bees grasp a zero-like concept, treating no shapes as less than some shapes. For an animal with such a small neural budget, that's astonishing abstraction. Takeaway: bees show that intelligence scales with efficiency, not just with brain size. 8. Pigs. Casual gamers with joysticks. Pigs don't just learn tricks for treats. They can use a joystick to move a cursor on a screen. In a controlled study, pigs manipulated a joystick to steer a cursor into targets, understanding the screen's mapping enough to perform above chance. The work was led by researchers in animal behavior and cognition, suggesting pigs can adapt to abstract tasks outside their natural repertoire. Why it matters. Video game-style tasks require visual motor coordination, rule learning, and motivation, a trifecta of flexible intelligence. It also hints at better welfare enrichment. Puzzles that engage pig minds, not just bodies. 7. Rats. Quiet empaths and problem solvers. Rats star in labs for a reason. They learn fast. But they also care. In a landmark experiment, rats repeatedly freed a trapped cage mate from a restrainer, even when no social contact was offered as a reward. They'd nudge doors open and sometimes even share chocolate chips with the freed rat. The authors interpreted this as pro-social, empathy-like behavior, rats acting to relieve another's distress. Beyond empathy, rats navigate mazes, integrate spatial maps, and update decisions when rules change, hallmarks of cognitive flexibility. Takeaway: intelligence also looks like helping, choosing to act for another's benefit. 6. African gray parrots. Talking isn't the half of it. You've heard parrots mimic, but the late Alex, an African gray studied by Irene Pepperberg, learned labels for objects, colors, materials, and shapes, and could answer questions like what color or what matter for novel combinations. Even more striking, Alex showed understanding of a zero-like concept. He would indicate none when no object fit a query. These aren't mere echoes. They reflect referential understanding and categorization. Why it matters. Parrots demonstrate that complex cognition can evolve in bird lineages with very different brain architecture from mammals' convergent smarts. 5. New Caledonian crows. Tool engineers. Meet the engineers of the avian world. New Caledonian crows craft tools in the wild, hooking twigs and leaves to fish grubs from holes. In a famous 2002 study, a captive crow named Betty spontaneously bent a straight wire into a hook to lift a baited bucket. No training, no model. That single act triggered a revolution in our view of bird intelligence. Later fieldwork revealed that tool bending is part of the species' natural repertoire, adding nuance to Betty's achievement. She wasn't a feathery Einstein so much as a master of a species' typical craft, which is still incredibly smart. Self-recognition cousin. Within corvids, magpies have even passed a version of the mirror self-recognition test, directing touches to a mark only visible in the mirror, a feat once thought limited to apes, dolphins, and elephants. Takeaway: tool innovation plus social savvy equals a powerful bird brain. For domestic dogs, word learning and social genius. We know dogs read our gestures and emotions, but some dogs also map hundreds of word labels to objects. The most famous case is Chaser, a border collie who learned 1,022 object names and could act on novel combinations of nouns and verbs, evidence of referential understanding, and even fast mapping. Inferring a new word refers to the unfamiliar item in a pile of known ones. Why it matters. Canine intelligence is deeply social tuned to human cues, yet capable of surprisingly abstract language-like learning. Perfect coevolution partners. 3. Octopuses. 8 arms, 3 hearts, 1 mastermind. Octopuses pack distributed intelligence. More than half their neurons live in their arms. The veined octopus made headlines when researchers filmed individuals collecting coconut shells, carrying them for meters, then assembling them into portable shelters, later a textbook case of tool use and future-oriented behavior. In the lab, octopuses open jars, navigate mazes, and show individual personalities. With short lifespans, their ability to learn rapidly and generalize is even more impressive. Takeaway: different body plan, different brain, but complex cognition nonetheless. 2. Elephants. Self-aware problem solvers. Elephants aren't just big, they're big-brained. In a decisive test, an Asian elephant passed a mirror self-recognition mark test, touching a paint spot only visible in the mirror, suggesting self-awareness. Teamwork test. In a clever cooperation study, pairs of elephants had to pull ropes simultaneously to move a platform with food. If one arrived early, they sometimes waited for their partner, recognizing the need for help and coordinating actions. Takeaway: memory, empathy, grief behaviors, and cooperation paint a portrait of a deep social intelligence. 1. Bottlenose dolphins. Names, memory, and culture. At number 1, we have animals who name each other. Bottlenose dolphins develop unique signature whistles, identity calls akin to names. In a landmark field experiment, researchers played recordings of the dolphin's own signature whistle. The dolphin called back, but ignored other whistles' evidence. They treat the whistle as a learned label for the individual. Even cooler, dolphins can copy another's signature whistle to address them, like saying, "Hey, you." Over decades of research, we've learned these whistles are individually distinctive, stable for years, and used in social coordination, a complex, culturally rich communication system. Fun fact: females may tweak whistles around newborns, possibly a baby talk effect, while alliances of males sometimes converge on more similar whistles, mirroring social bonds. Takeaway: names, cooperation, long social memories, and tool traditions like sponge foraging put dolphins at the pinnacle of non-human social cognition. Honorable mentions, optional quick hits if you need them. Magpies mirror self-recognition, corvid smarts. Orcas, dialects, cultural hunting tactics. Cephalopods in general, deception, camouflage learning. What intelligence really means. So what ties all these species together? Not a single magical trait, but flexible problem-solving matched to a life's demands. Abstraction and rules, bees adding/subtracting. Parrots labeling categories. Tool use and innovation. Crows shaping hooks. Octopuses carrying coconuts. Social communication and empathy. Dolphin names. Elephants cooperating. Rats freeing cage mates. Word learning. The border collie chaser. Intelligence isn't one ladder with humans at the top. It's a forest of strategies evolved to fit very different bodies, senses, and worlds. Which of these surprised you most, and who did we miss? Drop your favorite animal genius in the comments. If you learned something today, give this video a like, share with a friend who loves animals, and subscribe for more brain-tickling nature stories every week. Before we wrap up, I just want to take a moment to thank you all once again. Your support through likes, shares, and comments means the world to me. It's what keeps these stories alive and thriving. If you enjoyed this journey with our little howler, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and join our growing community of animal lovers and curious minds. Until next time, keep celebrating the wonders of the animal world, big and small.